Hello, Sanbonani, Dumelang Molweni. Welcome to Asathi Reviews. My name is Asathi Nzelu, and in this video, I'll be doing a film review of the movie Acrimony. The executive producer is Keon Long. The director is Tyler Perry. The writer is also Tyler Perry. The cinematographer is Richard Vialet. The main characters are Taraji P. Henson as Melinda, Lyric Bent as Robert, and Crystal Stewart as Diana. I have decided to title the movie A Woman Scorned. Acrimony is a story of love and betrayal about a couple, Robert and Melinda, who met in university on a rainy day. Robert was poor but smart, whilst Melinda came from a better off family but struggled academically. After their unpleasant encounter on campus, Robert started assisting Melinda with her schoolwork. Their bond grew stronger when Robert found out that Melinda's mother had just died and left her the house and some money as inheritance. Melinda's sisters never liked Robert, but distraught Melinda saw a supportive friend in Robert during her time of need. Meanwhile, Robert only saw a fresh cow that he would milk for sex and money. He even extorted sex out of Melinda on the day of her mother's funeral and manipulated her into paying his university fees. On top of all that, Robert cheated on Melinda with a girl named Diana, leading Melinda to unleash her wrath on both Robert and Diana. After they had made amends, Robert proposed to Melinda and they got married in an empty church because her sisters did not approve of their marriage. Robert couldn't get a job after graduation due to a criminal record that he obtained as a minor, so for almost 2 decades, Robert carried on being a parasite to Melinda, living off of Melinda while he worked on his invention and continuously sending letters to Prescott, a big energy company. After their inheritance money ran out, Melinda had to work 2 jobs to support them and also mortgaged her inheritance house to pay for the supplies that Robert needed for his invention, together with the costs that came with the trial and error of his invention. When Melinda's sisters find out that Melinda had mortgaged her house to pay for Robert's ambitions, they chastise her, but because they care about the house that they grew up in, they decide to get Robert a job in their trucking company where he will be working for free to earn the mortgage money. Because of the unpaid labor, Robert grows resentful of Melinda, accusing her of not standing up for him when her sisters bully him. On one of his deliveries, Robert finds that the girl he cheated with yonks ago is an executive at Prescott, and he grabs this opportunity to tell her about his wonderful invention and the numerous letters he had sent to this company. They decide to go on a coffee date, and soon after, he receives a call from police instructing him to cease any communication with the company and its personnel. One day, Robert gets a call from Diana saying that Prescott wants to see his prototype. Robert puts everything at risk, the house and the company, to try and get the prototype to Prescott. Melinda tries to stop him and they get into a heavy physical fight as she believes that he is cheating and is en route to see his mistress since a female wallet was found in the truck that he drives. Robert manages to escape and get to Prescott, but he is disappointed when he finds that instead of licensing, Prescott wants to buy everything, including the intellectual property rights. When Robert gets home to clear his name and tell his wife of the bad deal that he had just rejected, he finds a Melinda that has reached a point of no return. Melinda tells him that she has had enough and she wants a divorce. Amid divorce proceedings, the house gets repossessed and Melinda moves in with her sisters whilst a distraught Robert stays at a shelter. Melinda's sisters hook her up with another guy and she finds Robert working as a cleaner in one of the restaurants that her date has taken her to. Diana, the mistress, fights for Robert to get the deal that he wants and she succeeds. When Robert hits the big time and scores hundreds of millions with his invention, he buys Melinda her house back and adds 10 million on top. When Melinda sees this, she tries to rekindle her love with Robert, but unfortunately, Robert has quickly moved on and gotten engaged with the girl he had cheated on her with 2 decades ago. Melinda loses her mind when she sees that Robert has given Diana the life that he had promised her. She stalks Diana on social media, sending her death threats and doing many deranged things until Diana and Robert take her to court. The court then grants them a protection order against Melinda and orders Melinda to attend anger management therapy. Whilst Diana and Robert are on a boat cruise, Melinda appears out of nowhere and shoots Robert in the stomach. She tells the boat staff to jump into the ocean as she searches for Diana on the boat. Robert manages to gather strength and push Melinda into the ocean as she is pointing a gun at Diana. Robert then tells Diana to go and rescue the staff in the ocean. Meanwhile, Melinda gets back onto the boat and chases Robert with an axe around the boat, talking of how Robert has hurt her and how this was supposed to be her life. Just as she starts attacking Robert with the axe, she gets entangled into the boat's anchor and it drags her down, anchoring her to the bottom of the ocean, and she drowns to her death. Robert tries to pull her up and save her, but he fails dismally. And that is how a toxic, one-sided, emotionally draining relationship of over 20 years ended without the victim getting a fairy tale happy ending. This movie is very similar to the movie A Fall from Grace in terms of its story structure, as it is told from present to past and back to present. Acrimony is a perfect example of the adage, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. To answer the famous question, who was wrong in Acrimony? Well, my answer is that Robert was the one who was wrong and Melinda was the victim. Regardless of how much money Robert had given to Melinda, it was never going to be enough. Because to Melinda, it was not about the money, but it was about living the dream that he had sold her when he was sponging off her for 20 years. Melinda just wanted a return on the investment that she had made for more than 2 decades, and 10 million was simply just not enough. After everything she had gone through for over 2 decades, seeing Robert give another woman the life that he had promised her was just the straw that broke the camel's back. Robert should have at least tried to mend their relationship before heading to Utopia with the very same woman who had been the bane of their relationship's existence since its inception. Thank you so much for watching this film review. My name is Asathi and please do like, subscribe and comment down below under the hashtag Asathi Reviews.
Robert,